All right, welcome to Bold Strong. This is Craig Nadeau, and I'm here today with Jeff Davison, Ward 6 Councillor and Mayoral candidate. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Fantastic.
Excellent. You're running for mayor now, and how long have you been into the campaign, and what's it been like?
Well, I mean, this is only the second time I've ever been involved in an election. I got elected in 2017, born and raised in the ward I now represent, and back in May decided that the timing was right and that Calgary needs some leadership and jumped into the mayor's race.
Exciting, and it's a big change for Calgary. There's a biggest campaign for mayor, most likely.
Well, I think all across the board, there's over 20 people now in the race to run for mayor, which, really isn't that uncommon when you have an incumbent stepping out.
Right.
The bigger change is that we've got 10 members of council that are leaving at this point, maybe even 11. We don't know. And so when we think about, there's a huge opportunity in front of us to look at change, but change can also be something that can be a little indeterminate when we think about it. Sometimes change is scary.
Yeah, and as we talked about off air, obviously change is scary, and people usually rush into it until they realize that something's about to change, and then they're not comfortable anymore. And
yeah, I think this election is really going to be about proven leadership and track record, and being the person who does what they say they're going to do, and has a history of getting things done for the city. There's 3 members of council that are running for the mayor's seat. I think one of us has that track record of collaboration and getting things done, and then you've got a lot of people from the outside. The challenge we're going to have is that there's a lot of opportunity in front of Calgary right now, but we've got to get moving on it. And I feel like right now we have well set the table over the last 4 years for Calgary's recovery. We've got to get moving quickly. Before we jump into what is that opportunity, because it is really fascinating, I think one of the big questions that a lot of people, on the outside of politics ever wonder is like, why would you ever do that to yourself? And people have told me over the years, it's like, Craig, you should run for something, fill in the blank. It's like, I never want that level of scrutiny. I don't want to be watched. I just not interested. Why are you doing it? What's in it for you? Well, you're absolutely right. It is tough being in the public spotlight. That's for sure. I've got 3 small kids, and it can be hard at times, just making sure that they're protected from a lot of the challenges that are out there. But at the same time, I'm interested in this job because I have 3 small kids. I really do worry about the future of Calgary and the opportunities for young people and where we're going to go from here. And that's one of the reasons I jumped into the race is predominantly because of that. Secondary to that is really that I feel like we have set the table for Calgary's biggest recovery in our history over the last 4 years. But it's going to take the right type of leadership moving forward in order to make sure we move from strategy to execution.
Right. I think it'll be interesting with all the changes at the city council level too, with the, and if you're mayor, it's going to be an awfully big job just to kind of, herd the cats, right? Yeah. And to get everyone who's brand new. Like most of these people are, for the most part, are brand new to politics.
Yeah.
Right. So
absolutely. I mean, it's a challenge for sure, but I think it really boils down to, it's kind of like how council works now. You really have to think about what are the priorities of your colleagues, and where do you find commonality together, and ultimately figure out what's the goal we're trying to drive towards. And when it comes to getting people involved in projects and different things, it's really about getting their buy-in, because when you become a leader, it's not just about you leading and you winning. It's really about we. And the old cliche is there's no I in team, right?
Yep.
It is about we. And so when you take a lot of these large projects that I've been able to accomplish in 4 years, it's because it's not about me, it's about Calgarians. But to get there, I really need to get my colleagues vested into the project to say yes, because it takes 8 votes on council to get anything done.